a doubles pair, okay?
So as soon as one of these hit the cone, then you jump in from one of them?
Yeah, rotate in after 2 or 3 rallies, okay? So let's see.
So once they've done a couple of rallies, you jump in. Do they know that?
Yeah. After a couple of rallies, guys, we'll just rotate in as a 5. What could we have done differently? Reached over the kitchen, okay? Reaching over, it's about us being proactive, taking it on the full. Nice. Jump in, yeah, feel free to rotate as a 5. If the ball bounces, you can step into the kitchen, yeah, absolutely. Nice rally. That's the instinct that I want to see. I want us to see us reaching over into the kitchen. That's good. Don't feel bad for that. That's what we like to see. Ooh, nice pick up there. It was going to hit the cones unless we hit it. So nicely done. Nicely done. Nice rally over there, court 3, nice rally. Ooh, got unlucky there. Okay guys, pause there. If you 5 just come up to the net so we can watch here. You 4 just jump yourselves in here. You guys can stay as you are. We'll use your court as an example. So you 4 just come over here. We're just going to watch this court for a second. The rallies are looking good, but still we're all stood far too still. Okay. The person retrieving the ball is making some form of movement to collect it. Great. But the other 3 players are stood quite still. If you're stood still in a rally, you don't mind that. You're just going to have a nice leisurely, dinking rally. It's a great social session, absolutely. If your opponents are stood still, you're doing something wrong, okay? It's your fault that your opponents are not working hard enough to retrieve that ball, okay? All you're simply doing is just playing the ball straight back to them. Thanks very much, and not much effort is being made, okay? Just like in any racket sport ever, usually the aim of the game is to hit the balls away from the opponents. Pickleball is no different. Don't hit the ball directly to your opponent. Make them work for it. Dink into the middle, dink out wide, and then the space will open up for you to thread the ball into, okay? So just one key takeaway is you realise your opponent is flat-footed, they're not making much effort. That's all on you, okay? That is your own fault, okay? Guys, if we can stand just behind our cones, our reset markers. I call these reset markers because this is the best place you should be stood on any pickleball court. Right up on that kitchen line. You're going to win more rallies being stood just behind this kitchen line, hopefully eventually volleying the ball or smashing it. Rarely will you win pickleball rallies stood at the back of the court. So you want to get yourself from the back up to just behind these cones here. Again, they're not there in real life. And naturally, we're standing here anyway. But as long as we know we're stood here for good purpose, that's all good. And here is your partner. So, arms outstretched. This is your wingspan. Small gap here for your opponents to thread the ball into. Fairly small gap down the middle, and another small gap here. Okay, this is the ideal position you want to be stood in with your partner. If we take 2 steps back, you stay as you are. wingspan out. Suddenly, there's a pocket of space that's opened up in between, and there's more room here for players to thread the ball into. 2 more steps back. Okay, and this looks terrible. Okay, we are staggered. Look at all this room for opponents to thread the ball into, and a big open gap here. This looks great on a tennis court, but terrible on a pickleball court. If we take 4 steps back and join our partner, wings spread, this is a much better position to be stood in than ever being staggered. At least the both of you can see exactly what's happening in front of you, while also seeing each other in each other's peripheral vision. So you know what shot your partner's going to make, whether that's a longer dink, a lob, a drive. Whereas if I'm stood here and my partner's there, I have to constantly turn back to see what shot they're going to make. And if they decide to scoop the ball up, I'm going to get a face full of ball because I didn't know that they were going to do that. I would rather see my partner. All I have to maybe do is a slight head turn, but otherwise I've got them in my peripheral, so I know where they're going to dink, where they're going to speed up, where they're going to drive, etc. Okay, you don't really want to have to keep looking back to see what your partner's doing. So at all costs, if you can, stay in line with each other like so. Back up to our reset markers, please. If a dink from our opponents has come out here wide left and we have to pick that up a couple of steps over, what movement should our partner be doing? Over we come to mirror the movement, okay? You've been brought out wide, your partner needs to cover that space in the middle. Just remember the wingspan, okay? Keep the gaps between us nice and tight. And vice versa, if we're brought over out wide right, our partner should mirror what we're doing. The hard work happens off the ball. Even if you're not playing a shot, you need to let your partner know that you've got their back. Okay, you are a competent pickleball player and you are there to support them by covering the space. Because if we were to stay there and we stay there, suddenly this is the space that our opponents wanted to create. We purposely dink out wide left. You would put it anywhere back on the court, and unless you can get back to your reset spot quick enough, thanks very much for the space, and we'll thread that ball into there. So the rallies are looking good, but everyone's still stood a bit too still because either we're not being worked hard enough by our opponent, which isn't so much of a bad thing, but also we're not mirroring our own partners. We need to let them know that we're there for them, covering the space. So I want us all to now just stop being so flat-footed, okay, but now start to be on our toes, constantly moving. Hard work happens off the ball, okay? So we're going to go back into this drill for a couple more minutes, and I want to see everyone getting tired, the blood pumping, okay, nicely warmed up. Here we go. Yes.
Are we looking to keep the rally going, or are we
No. You're looking to win the dink rally. Yeah, win the dink rally.
We're not looking to just keep it going. We're actually looking to create a gap.
You want these guys to break down the rally. You're looking to win the rally, but not by hitting it hard, by being more consistent. You might have to volley if you're leaning into the kitchen, yeah, but you're not punching it very hard. No, you're either looking to hit the ball on the cones because they've exposed that precious area, or you're just hoping they break down the rally because you've worked them hard. You've moved them right, moved them left. They simply can't keep up with your consistent dinking. Okay, here we go. Mirror your partner, good. Yeah, so our partner moves, we move. We can't sit and stare. Yeah, rotate, good. Good. See that one? It's landed behind the kitchen line. We can take that early. Oh. Soft shots, guys, soft shots. Just playing within the kitchen. Okay. It was a nice rally. but a lot of the balls were bouncing behind the kitchen line. We can control everything that's going to bounce behind the kitchen. I need to see us take it out the air earlier, okay? Reason being is that if you keep taking it out the air early, you're giving your opponents less time for them to reset. They're busy scrambling all over the place, and instead, meanwhile, while they're trying to get back to behind the cones, you're already putting the ball into that next pocket of space, okay? You're being proactive, and by the time they've taken a breath, crap, they've got to go and retrieve another ball that's wide right, okay? Do not let it bounce behind the kitchen, because that's just a missed opportunity. All you've done is taken a back step, and you've allowed them to take a breath, to reset and get back into those positions. So instead, it's coming at me, great. I'm going to punch left, punch right, and all very soft shots, okay? Doesn't need to go too deep. Yeah. So we can take that out the air, we can take it out the air. Mirror your partner, good. Ooh. It's an opportunity for us to take that one out the air. Here we go. Protect your cones at all costs. Good. Unlucky, unlucky. Yeah, mirror our partner's movement, guys. Mirror our partner's movements. Good bit of movement there, guys. Good bit of movement. Yep. Hard work happens off the ball. Okay. Oh, oh, so many cone hits.
The real reason for taking it early,
You saw it, yeah?
I mean, it is a real, much more attacking.
Proactive. Yep. It's not even about attacking because you don't even have to hit the balls hard. You're winning.
Okay, so can I just jump in and just
yeah,
explain
absolutely.
to you?
Instinctively reaching over this kitchen, absolutely. If the ball bounces in this front part of the kitchen, no matter what shot our opponents play, third shot drop or a dink, nothing you can do about that. I can't reach over that far. I just have to let it bounce. That's fair play to them. But anything in the second half of the kitchen, you can control. That is something that you can manipulate. You can take out of the air early, and you don't want.
But what's happening is when the ball is coming to here,
and the cones
some of
aren't
you are
there
letting the
either.
ball bounce
Feel free
and
to
then
take a
it from
step
there.
back. But all
So
you
when it's here, I'm going to let that bounce.
literally, you
That's
are
it. You
then
need to
on
take
the
that one
back
out there.
foot
Take
because
that
you've
one out
allowed
there.
your opponents to set
That's the one
themselves
you
up,
need to take out there. So
regroup,
go
reset,
again.
which you
Just
don't
chuck
want
it
to
back
do.
in.
You want them to just
Okay,
be
so if
scrambling
it's
around all over the
short,
place.
let it
Eventually, they'll break the
bounce.
rally down
Okay.
because you've reached.
If it's short, I'm going to let it bounce.
All good.
If it's longer,
Yes.
I'm going to take it out the air. Okay, take that out the air. Okay.
Yes.
So what some of you are doing
unless
here,
it's a lob.
right, is when the ball comes in, if it's not in front of your cone, so if it's here, you're letting it bounce. I want you to imagine these
if it's a
cones
lob,
are
it's
all the way
slightly
across.
different. Yeah, I can cover that a
Does
little
that
bit
make sense?
later on.
And
Yeah.
when I take a shot here, I've got to move
You don't
across.
want to go back, no.
My partner's going to move across.
Take it out the air early without
Yeah?
stepping
Do you remember
into the
the
kitchen.
wingspan he was on about? We should be able to touch tips all the time. So if you play the ball to here, and I play it here, my partner needs to be there. But anything that's coming close that I can reach,
Perfect,
I'm
yeah.
a bit taller than you, aren't I? Okay, so what he's saying, this is 4 cones deep. So here, I can reach, who's got the ball? So if I put my paddle out here, I can reach that. Okay, that one I couldn't, go again. Okay, so look how far I can reach. but I don't want to overstretch. That's what he's telling you. That's why he's only giving you 2 cones, because he doesn't want you to overstretch.
Lucky.
So that one's going to bounce. That one's going to bounce.
Nice,
okay?
good. I don't mind that because we are instinctively trying to reach over the kitchen.
So try not to step back off of the kitchen. Take it out the air. That's this exercise.
Perfect. Nicely done. If we'd let that bounce, our opponent might have been able to regroup, reset, and then get that ball. But because you've taken it out the air early, that space has opened up, and you haven't hit the ball very hard. You've just threaded it into the pocket of space. Okay, all from being proactive at the net, reaching over. Okay, guys, pause there. Grab yourself a quick drink. Pause. Grab yourself a quick drink.